Dude, we are 10 days out from free agency. When we come back in here on Monday, it's the month of March. Think about that.
Time is flying, and free agency is around the corner, literally around the corner. And Z, you already know that the agents are already talking to the teams or getting things all ironed out. There's going to be some players that are already going to have contracts done, but they have to wait a week. So it's here, man. It's here. It's what do you like to say? Quicker than a New York second.
Quicker than a New York minute.
Yes. New York minute.
Yes.
Woo!
Yes. So with that in mind, and I do want to get to Nuggets OKC in primetime, ESPN.
Yes, we must get to that one. That's going to be a good one.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander has not played in weeks, and he's coming back tonight.
He's back.
So, okay, we'll get to that momentarily. But first, when you look at the free agent class, all the needs for the Denver Broncos, I say all of them. There's probably less than, 10 years maybe, less needs for the Denver Broncos to plug holes than there's been in a very long time.
Well, you're talking about maybe like 2 or 3 like positions of need. Like you really need to get this position filled with really good players. I'm thinking about running back. I'm thinking about inside linebacker. And, of course, you may disagree with me, agree with me. I'm going to go with the tight end.
Sure.
As a position of need just because of what Evan Ingram did not bring to the table last year. You need a tight end, whether it's the free agent market or going in the draft. I think you go to the draft for a younger tight end, but that's just me. You go in there and you shore up that one to go with Evan Ingram. So there's a couple positions of need right now for the Denver Broncos so they can take that next step, which is getting to that damn Super Bowl.
No doubt about it, and I absolutely would put tight end. I would probably put it third.
Okay,
but it's still in the top 3. I go running back, inside linebacker, tight end. So with that in mind, we have our free agent sort of wish list board up here. My top free agent. Now this was on. I think I did this. We did it on Tuesday. Mm-hmm. My top pick was Breece Hall.
Yeah, man, you want to rethink that now, huh?
Well, that's the guy that I was advocating for the Broncos to trade for at the trade deadline, all right? And so I wasn't going to move off of that. Now, the next day after that, they came out and said, well, if we can't get a deal done, we'll franchise tag him.
Yep.
But they haven't done that yet. And so until they actually do it, because they're the New York Jets, okay? So until they actually do it and it's done, I'm going to keep Breece Hall as my top free agent option. You had Travis Etienne running back for the Jacksonville Jags.
Rumble, young man, rumble. I love me some Travis Etienne. I played against him multiple times. Lower contact balance is pretty insane. Has elite speed. And yeah, man, I would love for him to be a part of this backfield. But Breece Hall, bring it on. I would love him as well. We just need to upgrade at the running back position.
Yeah, Sean was asked about it earlier this week at the Combine if they need to add a running back.
Well, if we look at our roster and we start doing the musts, you would say you have to take the free agents out of the equation, and so running back would have to be one. Linebacker, there's 2 of them. So when we go through that exercise, I think you have to remove the magnets so I would say when you do that, you look at the roster differently, you look at tight end differently, so those are positions certainly that would stand out.
And if you've ever seen one of these like boards, with the magnets and it's basically like the depth chart, and he's saying like, well, remove the magnets of anyone that's not under contract here moving forward. And then like the must have, because he's got the must have, the needs, and then the wants, the musts become pretty obvious. And I think that running back, inside linebacker, tight end maybe to a lesser degree because there's some restricted free agents.
Yeah, you could say want for that one, right?
Okay.
Must, want, or need, want. I guess you could say need.
Yes, I think need. Yeah.
So you must get an inside linebacker. You must get a running back, but you have a tight end that's under contract at least right now.
Yeah. All right, so with that in mind, who is your second free agent after Travis Etienne?
Yeah, so the second free agent for me personally, feel the deal over here, is inside linebacker Devin Lloyd. All right, inside linebacker Devin Lloyd coming out of Jacksonville. And actually, I played against this young man, or this grown man now, when he was a rookie. And so he just got to the league, big boy. And at that time, he was just coming into himself. He didn't know much about who he could truly be. Now, Devin Lloyd, as of now, a very smart player, physical, instinctive. All right, he's going to be able to move around, really good hips. All right, he's going to be able to throw guys off of him. He will stop the run. All right, shed the blocks, take on the 300-pound lineman, shed the block to stop the run. That's something that the Denver Broncos need to do a better job of with the inside linebacker position, is finding linebackers that can also stop the run. But here's the thing. I feel like Devin Lloyd can cover as well. Is he the greatest cover inside linebacker in the world? No. But can he do the job at a high level? Yes. And
by the way, there's not a lot of those guys walking.
No, like, Zach, there's not.
Because we have a tendency to, and not to interrupt you, but like it's like, well, this guy can't, Singleton can't cover, and like, well, it's like, hold on, there's like 3 or 4 guys in the entire league that you would entrust doing that job on a regular basis in the first place.
Well, see, it's because at the inside linebacker position, just like I talked about the tight end position, it's hard to find those guys. You're looking for a guy to be 240 pounds but move like a running back. It's hard to do that, to be able to cover a slot, to be able to cover a running back or a tight end. So with Devin Lloyd, you're getting a lot of versatility out of this man. Now he's gonna ask for a pretty penny.
Sure.
But he's worth every cent that you're willing to give him. He's a major upgrade in the inside linebacker position. You can still go out there and draft a young inside linebacker to pair with Devin Lloyd, because we don't know what Dre Greenlaw is going to do this next year. We don't know if he's going to be available to play in games because he's healthy or not healthy. We don't know if, hey, maybe they part ways because Dre Greenlaw and the Denver Broncos just don't mesh well. We just don't know what's going on in that situation as of right now. So Devin Lloyd, for me, Z, is number 2.
Wow. I like it. Obviously, I think most people are big fans of Devin Lloyd. This guy has crushed it, man. I remember watching him at Utah. Absolute freak in the Pac-12. First-round pick, and he has fulfilled, his expectation, especially here recently. I love it. Now, he is. You said he's going to demand a pretty penny. You aren't lying. His market value, according to SpotRack.com, is 3 years, $60 million, $20 million per. Holy smokes!
You got to purr with it, purr.
Man, that's
a lot of money.
That is a lot of money.
A lot of cheddar
for an inside linebacker. But look, if you're going to address it with a heavy hand, Devin Lloyd checks that box. So I like it. I am going to stick with the running back position, and
you love your running backs.
Circle back to Rico Dowdle.
All right.
We talked about him last week, and just talking about current free agent backs. And Rico Dowdle represents the middle ground between a full-blown home run swing, which I think would be like a Breece Hall or even a Kenneth Walker, and financially he's at a reduced price, but you're still going to pay. And Rico Dowdle's just a damn good football player. And honestly, like, the more I watch him, the bigger fan I become of him. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 4.6 yards per carry in consecutive seasons, 4.5 yards per carry for his career. He's missed 2 total games in the last 3 years combined. He is already accustomed to sharing the load, which I think that he would continue to do given how they view R.J. Harvey. So it's not, you're not getting some sort of, unaccustomed, sort of running back diva, I'll just say. Like, he's used to this setup that he's going to have here in Denver. Although I actually would prefer leaning towards if they got Rico Dowdle more of a bell cow, because he's proven he can handle, I think, a steady workload, 236 carries this past year. So for all those reasons, he breaks tackles. He is north and south type of player.
Vertical, one cut, get vertical. Like, that's exactly what you're looking for with Rico Dowdle. And he's a good dude. From what I've heard. Is that right? Oh, yeah, really, really good dude. Quiet. Stays out of trouble, so you're not going to have to worry about any of that other riffraff stuff outside the facility, and he's all about just wanting to win and do what's best for his team. And I've heard around that he handles business.
Okay, I like it. He is a solid pass catcher, 39 catches in consecutive years. So he's just a good football player, and you've taken him from a situation. 2 years ago, he's playing for the Dallas Cowboys, and then this past year, he's playing for the Carolina Panthers. 2 completely different setups, two completely different offensive lines, and the production was almost like identical. It got even a little bit better in Carolina this past year when it came to getting into the end zone.
And he was splitting carries with Chuba Hubbard.
He was.
So, I love, and he was undrafted.
He was.
You know how I feel about my undrafted boys.
Yes.
Pay them. Pay them.
He was actually the first undrafted 1,000-yard back for the Dallas Cowboys in their team's history. So, yeah, Rico Dowdle will go to number 2 after Breece Hall, which I'm keeping up there until I know it's official that he's going to get tagged. You have to address the running back position, and you have to do it with a seriousness that has been lacking here for a few off seasons in a row. So I'm looking for a bigger swing here.
I like it.
All right. Real quick, Tyler Badie.
Yes.
Since we have been on the air here this afternoon, the Denver Broncos are bringing back Tyler Badie. We just found out a handful of minutes ago. It's a 1-year deal for around $1 million. It's not about the money for me. It's about the fit, because obviously by NFL standards, that's about as cheap as you can get. What does Tyler Badie bring to the table for the Denver Broncos? Because it's been hard for me to follow this.
I just think it's comfort. I think for them, it's like, hey, Tyler Badie, he's been in a system like this. He can play special teams. He does a good job with special teams. They still believe that he can block, and he's probably one of the best, running backs to block in that room right now because the room is depleted. And they're putting him on a cheap deal. And the reason why they're putting him on this cheap deal, I don't know how much is going to be guaranteed out of that $1 million. Let's just say $200,000 is guaranteed. The NFL does not care about $200,000. Organizations do not care about $200,000. So what they're saying is, we're willing to bring you back because you know the system. We're familiar with you. But if we find a guy in the draft, we can just cut you. That's what it's all about. But I don't know. For me, I thought Tyler Badie was going to bring more to the table this year. I thought he was going to break the tackles and be more explosive on third downs, and that was not the case. So, Z, I'm like you. I don't know what they see in Tyler Badie to bring him back for $1 million. But, hell, maybe I need to dust the helmet off and go out there and see if I can catch.
Man, oh, man. Yeah, there's like this thing with Tyler Badie. I don't see it.
Sean loves him some Tyler Badie, man.
Yeah, former draft pick from the Baltimore Ravens has been kicking around here the last couple of years. I just don't see it, but I'm not making the decisions. Tyler Badie re-signing with the Denver Broncos. Okay. By the way, and we're going to talk with Mike Kliss here in about a half hour. Mike Kliss said yesterday that the Denver Broncos do want to bring back J.K. Dobbins.
So we're doing all this work. We have our draft boards. We have our free agency boards up. All for them to bring back J.K. Dobbins, which, I'm not like, I like J.K. I like J.K. What scares me about J.K., and we all feel the same way.
Of course.
It's the injuries.
Of course.
If J.K. doesn't get hurt, he's going to be the first running back since this beautiful voice and beautiful face you're looking at, Z, went for 1,000 yards. J.K. would have cleared that. It went over, 1,300 yards?
Yeah, I think at the time he got hurt, he was on pace for 1,365, I want to say.
It seems like a lot of people love him in the building. He's really nice to the media. He's a vet that has taken R.J. Harvey under his wings and have taught him some things or two. So I can see them trying to bring J.K. back, but what does that look like? What is J.K. wanting? All right, he's going to want a little bit more than what he got last year. 2.7 or 2.5 is what he got, see? He's going to want more because he's like, in his head, he's like, dude, I almost went for 1,300 yards.
But you didn't.
But hey, if you want me back, you're going to pay a little bit more to me.
So what do you
you're not at me. Look, hey, don't shoot the messenger. No, the Broncos said they're bringing him back or want to bring him back.
Well, that's what Kliss said.
Yeah, Kliss.
That's what Kliss said. And we'll talk with him here again, like I said, about 30 minutes from now. But this just doesn't compute with me. And we've gone over this. Now, it's been about a month since we talked about it. So you need a little refresher course here.
All right, here we go.
J.K. Dobbins.
Yep.
Wanting more money than the Broncos gave him this past year when he played less games than the previous year and ran for less yards than the previous year, asking for more money, I don't know how that's going to work out for him. And my guess is it's not going to work out for him.
Well, according to Mike Kliss, Denver wants him back. They're gonna have to come with some type of negotiation back and forth.
Tell me what you think the most guaranteed money that J.K. Dobbins will get from the Denver Broncos.
J.K. will sign a $6 million 1 year, $6 mil, 1 year, $6 mil, $4.2 million guaranteed.
Okay.
Another prove it. J.K. is not getting the 2 and 3 year deal. Like he has not been able to stay healthy enough for somebody to say, hey, we're willing to give you a long term deal. But
right.
$6 million, 6.5 being the most, 4.2, maybe 4.5 guaranteed. That's still a lot of money for a guy that's going to share carries with R.J. Harvey and maybe add another running back because you know that you can't just rely on J.K. Dobbins or R.J. Harvey.
Well, I've told you I want Dobbins back because I think it's going to cost the team virtually nothing. I do not believe that he's going to get over $4 million guaranteed.
What do you think it's going to be?
$3 million guaranteed.
Guaranteed?
What was it, 2.7 this past year?
Yeah.
You want to know? I'm not even going to go to 3. It's the same 2.7. It's the same 2.7. Now, you're going to load it with incentives.
I'm not taking incentives. After what? Oh, no. If I'm JK.
And you know what?
If I'm JK, after what you guys did for RJ Harvey,
and they're going to be based on touchdowns. They're going to be based on touchdowns. Get us to the 1. RJ, get in there.
Come on now.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, we'll see what this actually looks like. But again, I was intrigued by Mike Kliss saying, yeah, the Broncos want J.K. Dobbins back. And I would just say, how bad? Actions over words.
Well, the Broncos, they want Alex Singleton back, Justin Sternad back. They want Jaquan McMillan, but they don't want to pay him. They slapped the tender on him. Now they want – who else do they want back? Jalil, we heard right there. There was some news that maybe Jalil because they don't slap the tender on him.
Yeah, they're not tendering Jalil.
But maybe they can get something done with him if they want him back. They're bringing Tyler Badie back. I mean, what? They're bringing everybody back.
To a room that didn't – well – I was going to say to a room that really didn't produce. J.K. did.
He did.
J.K. did when he was available. J.K., he was like their best player on offense when he was available.
He was. The identity of the team, the offense specifically, was J.K. Dobbins in the offensive line. But then once J.K. got hurt, it was the Bo Nix show.
It was the Bo Nix show. And then honestly, Bo started to play his best football when J.K. went down. So, man, you talk about just a disjointed whole, offense this year. Like it was hard to follow. It was hard to track. So we'll see. We'll talk with Mike here shortly.